What French
Yes.
words have you learned?
But of course, eat the gray stuff. It's delicious.
We did not see any gray stuff.
Nope.
You
No.
didn't ask the dishes?
Nope.
Nope.
Hello and welcome to Disney with the Ducks. I am your host for tonight, Lonnie G, and I am joined by two great ducks. Of course, your favorite duck, and that is Jodie B. How are you doing today, Jodie B?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Jodie.
Oui, oui. And of course, this is not her first time on the show. She is a returning guest, and that is Lindsey. Lindsey, how are you today?
I'm great.
Très bien.
Trevi. All right, so guys, this show, like I say, is episode 175, and Jodie B just came back from Disneyland Paris, and I've been waiting for her to come back. I've been working on my French the whole time, waiting to interview her. I was going to interview her in French, but I decided not to. But that's okay, because I think we only have one French listener. I don't know, so I don't want to tailor the whole show to that person. So we're going to just do it in English, right? Good old fashioned, the Queen's English. So before we get started, if you like what you hear, of course, please give us a review if you don't mind. We take all positive and not so positive feedback. Anything we can do to make the show better, please drop us a note and let us know. Also, if you do like what you hear, go ahead and follow us on the socials. You can find us on Instagram as well as Facebook and at Disney with the Ducks. So you didn't come here for all that stuff. You came for the main attraction, which is Jodie B and Lindsey talking about their Disneyland Paris trip. So I'm excited to hear about it. Jodie B, why don't you break it down? When did you go to France?
We checked in to the Disneyland resort on Sunday, July 6th, 2025.
Okay, so July 6th. Now, but you were in Paris for a little while before that, correct?
We were. We left Cincinnati on Monday, June 30th, and we arrived in France on a direct flight on Tuesday, July 1st. To 103-degree temperature in Paris.
Was it a dry heat?
No, it was not.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
Quite toasty those first couple of days in Paris.
Yeah.
We will talk about that big fluctuation in temperature when we get to the Disneyland part. But yeah, it was crazy hot, but we still had a good time.
It's crazy. I actually was even up with you guys temperature-wise, right? And I was looking at the temperature there. And I was like, yeah. And when you look it up, they start, the algorithm starts throwing stuff on there. And it was saying how people in Europe was trying to stay cool because of this unexpected heat. Because, they're not famous for their air conditions. So I'm just saying that's one of the things, right? So overall, quickly.
Let me say thank you to our friend Derry. Derry
Okay.
is a listener and a lizard and a good friend. And she recommended the Airbnb to us that we stayed at in Paris, which had air conditioning. which
okay.
a huge plus. So thank you for that recommendation, because a lot of people that we met while we were in Paris, the Airbnbs and the hotels that they were staying in did not have air conditioning, and I really felt bad for them. So
yeah, that would be miserable.
Yeah.
So all right. So overall, did you enjoy Paris?
Yes. We navigated the subway system. We got really good at doing the metro. We did all the touristy things. We went on a food tour. We went to the Eiffel Tower. We went on a bike tour. We went to Reims and did a champagne tour. We did the Louvre. We did what am I forgetting? Oh, a river cruise on the Seine that Landon got to drive the boat. We did Notre Dame. We did.
It's pretty much everything.
Oh, I'm sure I'm missing some things. We went to Versailles. We went everywhere.
Yes.
We averaged like 30,000 steps a day.
Wow, it's like a Disney park every day.
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So now, let's go to what everybody wants to know about, and that is Disneyland Paris. How did you get to Disney Paris?
How did we get there?
We took a train from the airport that dropped us off like directly in like the middle of Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
Like there's this area of Disneyland Paris called the Village, which is
Mhm.
like where the hotels connect and kind of where like
Kind of like their
downtown Disney area connects. And like right outside of it was where the train dropped us off.
Yeah. So look, great. If you guys are anyone going straight to the park, you fly to the airport. What airport did you land in, by the way?
Charles de Gaulle.
Charles de Gaulle.
We were not. This is days after we were in Paris.
Mhm.
We went back to Charles de Gaulle to take the train. It was
Right.
a 10-minute train ride. I think our tickets were 22 or 24 euro per person, which is a little high for a 10-minute train ride. But whatever. When I'm telling you it dropped you off right there, it dropped you off right
Yes.
there. We got off the train and this French woman started asking us all these questions. Do you remember that little old lady? She was asking us like, where did you come from? Like all these and my French is okay, but not that great. And I'm like, I kept saying like Charles de Gaulle, like, and she's like, what time? And I was trying to say the number. It was very. Then she got frustrated with us because she was like, never mind, you dumb people. And she walked away. But she was asking us all these questions. I'm like, I can't answer you.
You should have went, but of course, she would have known. She's like, oh, they're locals. So yeah. So, but you can catch a train straight from there, from the airport, from Charles de Gaulle, over to, and if I recall right, they may extend it. That's the last stop. I think it stopped there, right? Is that still the case?
It wasn't for
last
ours. It was not the last stop for ours. That's where we got a little confused. That's where we had read that information, that it was the last stop. And so I'm like, Tim's like, we got to get off. And I'm like, and we weren't sitting together. And I was like, I don't think so. It's supposed to be the last stop. He's like, this is the word. They kept calling it cheesy, which please, anyone who, that's not what it said, but the boys were calling it like, it's the cheesy station. It was like CHE. I don't know, but they were like, we're getting off at the cheesy station, and somehow we were there, and it was not the last stop. And I was like, okay, we're getting off, so we got off.
Well, you got off and you made it, so there you go.
We made it.
All right, so look out for cheese, and then you're good to go.
And then we made a critical error. This is kind of funny.
What was the error?
We followed all the signs that said where to go to the resort. So we were walking with our luggage, but it was also the security to get into the parks. Well, we're like, okay. And we asked, they're like, yeah, go this way. Then you can just walk to your resort. We're like, all right. So we have our luggage and we're walking into the resorts, and Tim and I had 4 bottles of champagne with us because we had gone to Ron's earlier and bought some champagne, and you can't bring alcohol into the park. So they were like, well, you can't come in this way. And we're like, okay. How do we get to our resort then if we can't? So there was a little confusing right away. It was some mass confusion. Like, you told us to go through this way. The sign said to go to your hotel this way. We went this way. We went through security, and the security's like, no, you can't come in this way because you have alcohol. So we're like, well, how do we get to our? So what do we end up doing?
We took a bus to the resort instead.
Yeah. So we turned around, exited, walked back out towards the train line to find the bus line, which was kind of more like a typical Disney bus type of situation that dropped you off at your resort. And then we got to the resort, and then they went through security there again, but we were allowed to bring our alcohol in there. So,
no, but of course. So, first, you're walking into the park, right? A little bit of snafu. Went through, you checked in. We'll talk about the hotel in a second. But of course, I know you wanted to get to the park. You mentioned the temperature change from when you guys were touring Paris. What was the temperature like at Disneyland Paris?
Very cold. Very, very, very cold.
The high was 55.
Yeah, that's a big switch. Switch in temperatures right there.
Yeah, so it was 103 when we were in Paris, when we were there the first day. And then the high was 55. So we arrived at Disneyland Paris on Sunday, just quickly did a couple of things at night, but then Monday it was 55 degrees and raining.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like my grandmother used to say, that's how you get sick. Those temperature changes
Yeah.
like that. So
It was huge fluctuation.
Yeah.
okay, all right. So the first day you got there, you like I said, you went in. What park did you go into first? The first day.
That made
First, we explored like the downtown area.
Okay.
We went into some of the shops.
Disney. We had dinner.
Yes, we had dinner. And
Dinner
then
at Rosalie, which was in Disney Village, which is like their Disney Springs,
Mhm.
which we had heard good things about, so we were excited about it.
Yeah.
And did it live up to what you heard?
Go ahead.
It was all right.
Okay.
It was so for example, like Lindsey ordered lobster, which in the States you get like a boiled lobster with butter to dip it in. Theirs had like a
Souffle.
It was
had
like
like a souffle in it, and it was
like a crust.
not my favorite thing I had.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lana got a beef, and it was literally like it was just a beef in the middle of a plate, like this big gigantic plate and this little tiny piece of beef. It was kind of funny. He did get escargot that night, this was a funny story. You want to tell it or you want me to?
I don't remember.
Okay, so in Disney Cruise Line, when you get escargot, the escargot is already pulled out of the snail for you, and it's in that little container.
Yeah.
Not there. The escargot, the snail was still inside the shell, and so they gave you these little tong type things to press the snail, and then a fork to pull the snail out. And in the process of doing it, he had a Julia Roberts moment. So from Pretty Woman, he
flipped it.
Well, actually, it was a 2-person project at this point in time.
Yeah.
I was trying to help, which was probably not ideal because that's probably what messed it up. But in process of trying to squeeze the snail shell and pull out the inside, the snail went flying and onto the ground. So
Oh yeah.
we had a little bit of snail.
I mean, it could have hit somebody else, so at least it didn't do that.
Snail snafu that night, but it was good.
Yeah. I mean, but that shell is actually one of the souvenirs, which is the best part.
It was something.
All right. So, what did you have, Jody? What did you like?
What did I have?
It must not have been that good because you're not remembering it.
No, there are a couple of dishes I remember, but I don't remember that night. We had heard a lot about that restaurant, and I was really excited about it, and it was good, but not great, which is kind of what we had heard about the food in Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
So, but it was fine. I mean, so anyway, we left the restaurant, and then what did we do?
Then we decided to go spend the last like hour and a half in the Disneyland park. So like the main park, we walked up. The entrance was absolutely beautiful,
Stunning.
I don't think any of us were expecting it to be that pretty.
So
it was
pretty.
So pretty.
Yeah.
And we like kind of soaked it all in, and then we walked into the park. And it was like during sunset, so like the castle looked really pretty, and we were like just kind of taking pictures, chilling, deciding what to do. I think our first ride was Big Thunder Mountain.
I know our first ride was Big Thunder Mountain.
Well, there was a poll that was out in the Duck page. Did anyone get it right? Did somebody get it right? So let's do comparisons as we do the rides, because the Big Thunder there is very unique on how you get onto it. So, what did you think about the Big Thunder there?
I thought it was fantastic. It was very fun.
Best Big Thunder I've ever been on.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree. It's a great Big Thunder.
It is phenomenal. I mean,
and it's crazy that like you start and you go under the water and then you end up on the island. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah.
It was.
They did it right. They did it right.
Yes.
Good deal. So you enjoyed that first ride, Big Thunder. I think you start off on a high note. What did you guys do after that?
Then we decided to walk over like next door to Phantom Manor because it only had like a 5-minute wait. And my brother's favorite ride is the Haunted Mansion. So he was very excited. And it was very, very different. Like it was like the Haunted Mansion vibe, but it was a whole different storyline. And I don't think I was expecting that to be like a whole different storyline, but it was cool. There were a lot of like hidden details from the Haunted Mansion that I noticed. But I thought it was pretty cool. I liked the end scene. It was like the graveyard, but it was like the Wild West. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah. Good deal. And I think it looks a lot different too than a regular Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
Which is great, right? If you get something that's different but yet still familiar. So
Yeah.
good deal. So look, 5-minute wait, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It had been raining a lot that day, so I think, and it was a Sunday night, so my guess is maybe a lot of the locals had left at that point in time, because the rain finally let up for that portion of the evening. So
okay, so then after that, I guess you called it a night.
We got some stuff from like the confectionery. So we got like 2 little baked goods, and then we called it a night. Yeah, we were pretty tired.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would expect you guys to, and you want to get an early start the next morning, right?
Yeah, and we had been in Normandy that day, so it'd been a long day already.
Oh wow. Okay, so I didn't even realize that you guys were in Normandy, then went back to the airport, and then well, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
but you know what? I mean, you're there, you might as well take it all, right? Sleep is for the week.
Yep, it was.
All right. So the next day, bright and early, what time did you guys get up to head to the parks?
So early access, parks open at 9:30. I thought early access was only half an hour. It turned out to be an hour. I will say, like, those type of details and that type of information is not really clear, even if you know French. I didn't feel like it was readily accessible or really well communicated. The app was totally different too. So they have their own app. You should know that. So it's, Disney World has an app, Disneyland has an app, Alani has an app. Guess what? Disneyland Paris has an app, and it's very different than the Disney World app. So that was also kind of a challenge trying to figure out. And we also didn't know where things were. Like, we didn't have a good understanding of, like, here's where this is, here's where that is. So I wrote job Starbucks for everybody because I'm a good mom. So
thank you.
Well, we know Lindsey loves coffee. We know this. This was established on the last show.
Yes.
She's a connoisseur. So,
Yeah.
Lindsey, how's the coffee there? I mean, it was still Starbucks, but how was it?
In France specifically, or like Starbucks in France?
Well, that's Starbucks, and then I want to get the France perspective as well.
The Starbucks in France was good. They had 2 like specialty drinks, so they had a creme brulee latte and like a tiramisu latte.
But of course,
specific to like the France Starbucks. But the like normal coffee in France, like the espressos,
the teeny tiny
were not my favorites.
Okay. Well, at least you was able to find a Starbucks.
Yes, I definitely like flavoring, so like syrups and stuff in my coffee, and I don't think I was expecting to just have straight like steamed milk in
steamed milk, and very small.
Yeah.
As we say it in France, petite.
Yes, quite petite.
Yes.
All right, so you rope dropped the Starbucks, got a fast pass for it, got that. What did you guys head off to after that?
We went to the other park. So they have 2 parks in Disneyland Paris. They have the Disneyland Park, and then they have the Walt Disney Studios Park. So we went to the Walt Disney Studios Park, which has a total of 9 rides. And it was pouring rain. Absolutely downpouring.
So 55 and pouring.
Yes, we had ponchos. I had to buy a sweatshirt that morning because I was freezing. We had umbrellas. Like, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna suck it up and do it. And we started.
Well, first of all, when you go in, there's this like covered area that you walk through, this promenade.
It's like Main Street, but like inside.
Yeah. It was. So that was kind of cool to walk through that. There are really cool details they were like sketches of different windows with different characters in it. So that was neat to take that in.
Yeah.
But it was cold. So we went straight to which ride? Do you remember?
Tower of Terror.
I was hoping you would say that because that's Jodie's favorite ride, right? She loves Tower of Terror. I'm surprised you guys got her on there. Was she kicking and screaming, or did she actually go on it?
I like it. You're thinking Sarah doesn't like it. I love Tower.
You know what? I thought you said you didn't like it that much.
I love Tower.
I am confusing you and Sarah. Yes. So, okay, so you did like it. So what do you think about their Tower of Terror?
It's creepy.
Yeah, it's completely different from, like, the inside looks the same. The pre-show is the exact same.
Hold on, time out. The inside does not look the same. If Landon Binning was in here right now, he would tell you they
The
lack
cobwebs look
they
fake.
lack cobwebs. No. He was very upset at the lack of cobwebs. He couldn't get over that there were not cobwebs everywhere. He's like, "Where are the cobwebs?"
But
He
it's
was
like the same furniture, same like decor. The pre-show was the same, just in French. And then you go into like the boiler room where you get in the elevator.
but it's the Disneyland version where there's an upstairs and
Yes.
downstairs.
Up and down.
And you get in the ride, it's like you don't go up and then like through like the dark area and the building, almost like with the suspense. You see the creepy little girl from the elevator, and she's like, "Oh no, you're in the other dimension. Let me get you back." And then you just drop.
Yeah.
Like the door's shut, you see her, and then you just drop.
Yeah.
There's no suspense. You just
Just get ready to start screaming.
My notes were, we went straight to tower, scary little girl.
Yes.
Did she have a little Mickey? She hold her hand. You know?
Oh, yeah, she was holding on. Yeah, she was creepy though.
That
And
makes it
she
even scarier.
was a whole ride.
It was like only her.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
Yeah, she was creepy.
I'm like, why is this little girl by herself, like just roaming through this hotel?
Yeah.
It's madness. Okay. So, did you like this one better than Disney World?
Nope. I like.
Well, we know Landon didn't because of the cobwebs, but so no. Okay.
Oh, he was just disappointed. He's like, "Where are all the cobwebs?"
I think I prefer Disney Worlds because no creepy girl, and there's more of a suspense factor in the beginning. You're kind of like going through the actual building, and then. But I mean, if I could pick any of like the drop rides, obviously, I love Disneyland's Guardians drop ride. I think that is superior to all of them.
I agree. I do agree. You taught it well. It is the best one.
Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Speaking of Guardians, after Tower of Terror, we were let out straight into Avengers Campus, and so we spent the rest of like the couple hour in Avengers Campus, which I've never been to Avengers Campus at all. Not Disneyland, not Disneyland Paris. So this was my first time there, which was really cool.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I saw a video of you guys kind of rolling around through there. Like I said, follow us on the socials. You'll see it. But I know they had a little show going on, and Jodie B recorded it for us.
Yes.
All right. So, what do you think about Avengers Campus? Your first time going?
Pretty cool. I'm a fake fan. I've only watched Guardians of the Galaxy. I've never seen any of the other movies.
It, right?
I mean, she admits it.
Literally never seen any of the other movies except for Guardians of the Galaxy. And no Spider-Man, no Iron Man, nothing.
No Black Panther? You never saw Black Panther?
Her father's car has an Iron Man license plate, and she's never seen Iron Man.
Never seen it.
I can't believe you never saw Black Panther.
I know, Black Panther's the best.
Like, I get the gist of the storylines, and I know the different characters, but never seen
So we went to Web Slingers,
Yes.
which they have in California.
Uh-huh.
Now, Lonnie, do you remember when we rode this in California together?
I do, and I remember you went in saying that you had an advantage because of your arms, your little arms.
Yeah. Remember, I crushed everybody.
You did.
Not this time.
She lost.
To who?
The whole family, but I won.
This one killed us.
The student has become the teacher. What happened, Jodie B? I mean, a cramp? What happened?
I don't know. Lack of caffeine. Who knows?
I was stretching. She called me. She was
Peter
like,
Parker
oh my
speaking in
gosh.
French threw me off. I don't know. It was just the whole thing.
It was fun. It was the first time on Web Slingers, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Well, Lindsey went over there just handing out L's to people. You get an L. You get an L. You get an L. Just beating everybody. All right. Well.
Yeah. She was. And then remember, you insisted then. You were like, we were going to go do something else. And Lindsey was like, no, here are the plans. What did we go do?
In like an hour and like 15 minutes, we had a reservation for lunch at Bistro Remy. And so my whole plan was that we could ride the Ratatouille ride before lunch because it's just like right there and it's indoors because it's still pouring. And so we walked to the other side of the park. We got in line for the Remy ride. The line was pretty long, but I mean, I feel like it's always long, even in Disney World. We got in, no 3D glasses, which was weird. It wasn't in 3D, which normally it is. And the ride was literally the exact same.
Yeah.
The exact same.
The one thing I do like about it, and I don't know when you guys went to the restaurant, but if you sit at the right table, it's like a glass, so you see people loading up, which I think is the favorite part of it, right? Because you can sit there. Oh, and I'm sure Jodie was happy because you can get the wine pairing with the meal as well. I don't know what time you guys went, because it's kind of
Our
early.
reservation was at 12:15.
Okay, so technically, yeah. I mean, you can get the little some wine there as well.
Well, they had the Chez Remy wine, so
Mhm.
we got the half bottle because it's 12:15 in the afternoon. So Tim and I got the half bottle of that for lunch. And you could choose between the Remy menu, was appetizer and main course, or the meal menu, which is appetizer, main course, and dessert. I will say that people thought the food was fair. I liked mine a lot.
I loved mine.
Yeah.
Mine was, I got the cod, and it was very, very good.
What did you get for an appetizer? Oh, the soup. The soup
The
was
soup.
the celery. They called it a bean soup, but it tasted like celery to me.
It was good.
I had the salad, which had, of course, blue cheese on it, so I was happy. And then I had the special, which was a fish with like a vegetable medley underneath it. It was I liked mine. So
yeah, I think the fish was definitely, both of our fish were the better options, because the boys liked their food, but I don't know if they loved it.
Lana did not.
We got to try ratatouille for the first time, though. That was very
And how was that? Because I never tried that.
I actually really liked it. Landon said it almost tasted like pizza sauce.
It kind of did.
It was very good.
It tastes like pizza sauce.
Well, there you go then. And you got and did you sit by the window to watch people load in the ride?
We were close, but not like right up against the window.
But the details in that restaurant, it's definitely one that you go for the ambiance.
Yeah.
The chairs are like corks of bottles, and the base of the tables are bottle caps, and
it almost reminds me of like the seating area in Woody's lunchbox.
Yeah. It's
that's a very good point. I didn't think of that. You're right, it does.
Yeah, it's cool. You definitely go for the ambiance.
Yeah.
Definitely go for the ambiance. All right, good deal. So now it's about maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Yep. And then
please let me stop raining.
It was still drizzling.
Oh, then we went to ride the silly Cars ride, which was like the old Lights Motor Action, which I loved because it was you just sat there. We just ate. We
it was
didn't
a
go
tram.
Crazy. It was like a tram that took you through, but it was the old where the water goes over you. Like it was fine. It was fine. There was a poster out that actually had Saturday, September 22nd on it, which is our anniversary. So Tim and I had to get a picture of that. So it was fine. It was cute. It was
a good way to digest our food.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Good deal.
And then we saw the Wakanda show. So that's when we saw that. That's when we saw the that was pretty cool. But that was just, we didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we heard all the stuff and we're like, what's going on? So that was cool. So.
Now Tim loves Iron Man. Was Iron Man running around Adventures Campus?
No, but right after we saw the show, we got on the other Avengers Campus ride, which was Avengers Assemble, and that was like all themed for Iron Man. Like he was the main character. He's speaking French, which is very fun. And he was like the main character. There was an Iron Man animatronic, and the ride was recently rethemed to be Avengers. Originally, it was Rock and Roller Coaster, so it was the same exact layout as Rock and Roller Coaster, like the same exact. It is Rock and Roller Coaster, but with
an Iron Man overlay.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. I don't know when it was rethemed, but I know it was a little more recently when they got Avengers.
And the queue was a mix of Tron and Guardians.
Yeah.
Like the queue felt very like it had pieces of Tron in it and pieces of Guardians. So if you're in those queues, you were like, this seems very familiar. But it was the whole thing was, it's that's the thing about going to this park is parts of it felt very familiar, but just a little different.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it was a good ride. It shook us up though.
Yeah.
It was kind of violent.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And then we left.
Yeah.
And we
took a little afternoon break because our feet were soaked. We were still like we needed to change. And the rain was supposed to stop around like 6. So
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
But then what did we have to go see for me?
Before we took our afternoon break, we actually went into the other park to go quickly see the dragon under the castle.
Yes. So, what do you think about the dragon under the castle? What do you think about the castle?
The castle's really pretty. I get very confused by it though, because it's supposed to be Sleeping Beauty's castle. Like it's got her colors, it's got statues of the animals from Sleeping Beauty. However, if you look at it, it's the same structure and layout as Belle's castle. Which I know this because I on the plane ride down, I watched Beauty and the Beast. So I had recently
kind of over, not
I remembered like what the castle layout looked like, and I was like, this is so weird. Like it's Sleeping Beauty's, but it's Belle's castle layout. It was very strange.
I loved the walkthrough for the castle to see the storybook. Sleeping Beauty is my favorite. Seeing the dragon underneath and then going upstairs and doing the walkthrough. And then you could go outside and you could look at all of Fantasyland outside in the castle. That's crazy. Like, that's just crazy. So
it's a big castle. And I do, like I said, I'm so glad you guys went to the bottom because, it's funny. We were talking to, when we interviewed Sarah. And I said, did you go see the dragon? She's like, no. I'm like, you missed the best part of that castle. Mm-hmm. Sarah, you got to go back. If you're listening to this, you and Chris have to go back to see the dragon. So
I agree. I also, Landon was totally, what's the word? He was very weirded out by the square trees.
Yeah. I thought it was like probably one of the most beautiful castles.
Yeah, but he couldn't get over the square trees. He was like, why are the trees square? He kept
it just looked very like well put together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. Then we took our afternoon break.
We took our break.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you ended on a high. So you went back to the hotel, got dry, stuck some, I guess, paper in your shoes, right, to get them dry. Okay, took a little break. Anything you guys did at the hotel, or just kind of rested?
Just rested.
Yeah. You need that. And then, did it stop raining? You went back?
Yeah, it stopped raining. We went back to the Disneyland park, and
it got colder too.
Yes, and I think the first thing we did was
we saw the band.
Oh yeah, we walked in and there was a band performing, and like right when we walked in, like they were performing songs from Tarzan and from.
I recorded some of it. I went live with that.
Yeah, I don't remember the other song.
It was fun.
Minnie was there. It was pretty cute. It was cute.
I just see her jumping around on your recording.
Yeah,
she was having a good old time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then we did the classic dark rides.
Oh, we went to Fantasyland, and we did the rides because the next day in Disneyland Paris we had our Premier Pass. So this day we were trying to do the rides without Premier Pass, which were like the classic dark rides. So we started off with Snow White's Scary Adventure, which was very scary. Snow White is not my favorite princess at all. I actually very much do not like that storyline.
Poor Snow White.
So that was like,
It was scary though.
It's. And then we went literally right next door, and we did Pinocchio's Daring Adventure. And I also don't like Pinocchio. And so me and my dad me and my dad were sitting together for both of the rides. We're like, let's see which ride is scarier, the Snow White scary ride or Pinocchio. And I think we came to the conclusion that Pinocchio was scarier.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a different vibe when you get on some of those rides there in regards to, the happy, jolly ones over here. And then you get over there and you're like,
yeah. I also just don't like either of those movies.
Then what did we walk through?
Then we went to the back of Fantasyland, and we did the Alice's Curious Labyrinth, which was a maze for Alice in Wonderland, which was I really like Alice in Wonderland, and so that was really fun.
Yeah. But at this point in time, we were losing Landon. He was bored and tired, and this was not all that exciting. It was kind of too easy dark rides and walk through. So we knew we needed to
wake him up,
perk him up. So,
okay.
Where did we go?
So after that, we went over to Discoveryland,
which is our Tomorrowland.
Yeah, their futuristic land. And we went straight over to Space Mountain, which is my Hyperspace Mountain. But my favorite ride is Space Mountain. It's always been my favorite ride. And so I was like, oh, I've heard such good things about Hyperspace Mountain, which is supposed to be Star Wars themed. And we're walking through the queue and we're like, this is not Star Wars at all. Like the queue, there wasn't a single touch of Star Wars. And Dad, I think, said, it feels like we're just going into a carnival ride. It looked very like they almost started, like they got rid of the theme for the original ride and they just forgot to put up another theme.
It was interesting.
This was just the queue.
The queue. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I hate when that happened. They're kind of like, we're gonna just leave it like this. We're kind of bored. Let's leave it like that.
And it was, but once we got down to the loading area, we were like, oh, okay, we're ready. Yeah. And so, I wish I had my Apple Watch with me. For my recording. But me and my brother decided I had my Apple Watch on, and me and my brother decided to do a voice memo on every roller coaster that we went on. So me and him sat together, and I pressed record on my Apple Watch, and I was like, we're on Hyperspace Mountain, and we took the turn, and like Landon's like, I don't see anything Star Wars. And then right after he said that, the opening like song for Star Wars, the dun 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 dun, that started playing, and we were both like,
there it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
That ride is totally different than ours.
Yeah,
it's way
you start
faster.
off on an uphill launch, like you start off, and you just stop mid upway, and Landon's like, "Why are we stuck? Why are we stuck?" And then you just launch up, and then you go inside, and it's a lot of fun.
The harness on that ride, Tim kept saying it felt like they were putting weights on you, like it held you down so intensely that it was a warm hug that was a little too much. Like it was
too much hugging. There's too much hugging.
It was almost like I can't breathe. Like this is but that ride was nothing like that was
amazing. I loved it.
Oh, so the comparison better than Disney.
I can't cheat on my.
Oh, all right. You can't cheat. I understand, Jody. You can cheat.
It was really great.
So they do that queue a little better. If they do the queue better,
it was way faster. No. It was way more intense.
I do love Star Wars too.
It was faster, more intense. It was smoother. Like you didn't get the daylights, and it wasn't single. Like it wasn't the weird 3. It was 2x2, but it was crazy fast. It was really good.
It was a lot of fun. And so right after that ride, we got let out straight into pretty much the entrance of Star Tours. And so we're like, let's just go quickly ride Star Tours.
This is the weirdest experience ever.
And we get it's like the same layout as our normal Star Tours. We get in, we sit down, and we're expecting it to be, because most of the rides have been like half French, half English, so that most of the guests understand it. Or there's like, if it's mostly in French, there's like one character talking French and one character talking English, and they're like talking to each other, and there's subtitles. Star Tours was completely in French. Not a single.
But of course.
It's all what you said about Darth Vader. So we had Darth Vader and Mandalorian and Grogu. And
it was a new storyline. We've never had it,
which we didn't understand.
Yeah.
Tell what you said about Darth Vader. This is so funny. You were like, he's not.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Oh, did Landon say that?
I don't know.
So somebody was like, he's not scary in French. Like it's too nice when you're like, oui, oui. Like, oh, really? I hit you with my lightsaber.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. You definitely should have given a couple more. That's what he needed to have.
It was
quite entertaining.
French C-3PO was also pretty fun.
Yeah, the whole thing was funny. And then the Mandalorian and Grogu, we
didn't know what was going on.
And Grogu went to eat a frog, but then spit it back out. Like it was very interesting. But Darth Vader speaking French was pretty comical because it wasn't like the scary big bad voice. He was like, "Je ne sais pas." Like it was everything was so like nice and ooh la la. Like it was like
we kept saying,
I chop off your head.
We're like, luckily we know like the gist of Star Tours. Like because we've done it so many times, we know like what's happening. And he's like, "Oh, we're looking for Rebel Spy." If we wouldn't have known that, we probably would have been like, "What is he?
It's like he's looking for a croissant. What is he looking for?
it was pretty funny.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny. So
was Lenny up by this time? I mean, that's two. Okay, good. And so good. He got his groove back.
Yeah. Then we decided we better feed everyone. So we just went to the Hyperion next door, which was pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
First of all, it was in this gigantic, huge amphitheater. Like I don't know what they use that space for, but it was like a concert hall. This thing was huge. And I don't even know. Probably the size of Fantasmic.
It was big. Yeah.
It was gigantic. Like I don't know why it was there. And then you ordered on a touch screen, but you can't customize anything. So, like in the States, you could be like, no cheese, no lettuce, no whatever. You can't customize anything there. I don't know what people with allergies do there. First of all, you cannot be gluten-free in the country of France. Like I don't think it's possible.
Yeah. I don't think that's a thing. I mean, you say you're gluten-free, they'll bring you gluten anyway. It's like whatever.
You're like rub it all over your face, be like, yes,
whatever.
I got it.
Get this gluten.
So the food was not great. Like,
yeah.
Lindsey even what did you get?
I got chicken nuggets and I didn't even eat them.
They were
horrible.
Yeah.
You know what? It's hard to mess up chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be like, how can I mess this up? Because you can't mess them up. They're that easy.
They were not. I had a chicken sandwich and a salad. Yes, I had a salad because there were no vegetables in the country of France.
Of course.
We could not find, there was no ice, no vegetables, so I'm like, I need a little something. So I had a little side salad, but it was the whole thing. And they give you these plastic cups. They don't, like if you get a soda, we didn't drink much soda, but if you get a coffee or a soda, whatever, you get a plastic cup and you can carry it around with you in the park and trade it in, like turn it into a different restaurant. And so it's not like the paper cups that we throw away. That was also interesting. But anyway, we finished our not so wonderful dinner. We ate, I guess is what we could say. We got some sort of food. And then the girls, went to go get a spot for the fireworks.
Yes.
Yeah.
The boys went to
the fireworks.
Yes.
The best.
They were amazing.
Fireworks show I've ever seen.
No, Happily Ever After.
Okay, you're just because you love
Happily Ever After.
There were drones. There were projections. There were fireworks. There were spotlight lights things.
There was water. It was like if you mixed Fantasmic, the drone show at Disney Springs, and Happily Ever After into one show. And
World of Color. I think it had World of Color. Yeah, it was. I don't think we connected with the storyline as much because we love Happily Ever After, but the actual visual performance of it all.
Yeah, that
incredible.
Was insane. Yeah.
What surprised me was the lack of representation from Morimoto, or not Morimoto, that's Morimoto Asia, from Notre Dame. What's the guy's name?
Hunchback?
Quasimodo. I'm thinking Morimoto from Disney Springs. Clearly not right. Quasimodo and Belle. Like there was hardly any Belle in anything.
No, there was a lot of Belle in the show.
Okay.
There was a lot of Belle in the show. She was featured the most in the whole show.
Anyway, the drones, the fireworks, the everything. Do not sleep on the show. Like if you go to Disneyland and you only go for one day, stay for the fireworks. Now the problem
is very late.
Yeah, started at 10:40 p.m., ended at 11:01, but we were back in our room by 11:25. Walking.
So that's the best thing about being on the resort right there, because if you're not, even at the good neighbor hotels, those buses are kind of crazy, and at that time. Leaving late like that, they will cram you in there. If you like personal space, don't get on a Disney.
Yes, don't get on a Disney.
If you don't get any space, don't go to Europe.
Don't go to Europe. That is one thing I will say is we had, I think, 4 or 5 experiences in the lines with. Most of the time, I think they were teenagers, but people just not respecting our space and like. Stepping on our feet, trampling over our like at one point we were like shoulder to shoulder, and there was plenty of space, and I was like, what's going on? I was very confused, but that is one thing I'll point out is during the queues, there was a lot of lack of personal space.
You're like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Just literally, yeah. All right. Well, good deal. So stay for the fireworks, made it back to the room.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So you got one more day?
One more day. So
right.
Tuesday we wake up. We'll kind of go through this a little faster.
Starbucks? You rope drop Starbucks again?
We rope dropped Starbucks, and guess what?
It was raining.
It was pouring down rain.
Yep.
So our whole plan to get there early to go hit a ride during the extra bonus hour. Instead, we just hunkered down in Starbucks and watched the rain because it was pouring.
Yeah.
Like
it was
coming
bad.
down. And the rain forecast said like 30%. So yeah.
But we ended up braving it. We walked into the same park that we started at the other morning, the Walt Disney Studios Park.
Hold on a second. Not only do we get Starbucks, but we also got Erla sandwich because they have a gigantic Erla sandwich there, and they have a fantastic breakfast, which is way better than anything else. They have the French breakfast, which you could get a pain au chocolat and a coffee or an orange juice, or you can get the American breakfast, which is an egg, bacon, cheese sandwich, or you can get the English breakfast with the beans and the sausage and all that stuff. So there were 3 different choices for playing on their strengths. Like here's the 3 different audiences. So good. Highly.
Did you get the mushy peas from England? Did you get the mushy peas?
They were not any mushy peas at breakfast. There were baked beans at breakfast. But anyway, I highly recommend going to Erla Sandwich because it included a coffee or a juice, and it was a much better deal. But anyway.
Well, at least you found a good meal that you like there because you've been kind of striking out at the parks.
Yeah. So pouring rains, we sat it out for a bit. We went to Walt Disney Studios Park to start because we wanted to start with
Crush's Coaster. Well, we didn't end up starting with Crush's Coaster. We ended up starting with the Avengers Assemble ride and Web Slingers again. So we started off in Avengers Campus again.
Okay. Now, did you win this time, Lindsay?
I came very close second. My dad won, but
she still didn't win. I don't know what was going on.
Me and my dad were like neck and neck.
So what happened when we went to Crush, we thought we could use our Premier Pass, but because it was during the extra morning hours, you couldn't use your Premier Pass yet. So the wait was 55 minutes. And I'm like, well, we're not going to wait 55 minutes when we can come back at 9:30. With the Premier Pass, you just walk up to the ride, you scan your Premier Pass, and it lets you in. You can go to any ride that you want. That's part of the Premier Pass. You don't have to have an assigned time. So it kind of makes it nice because you could do all of, let's say Avengers Campus, and then you could do all of, what did they call that other area? Pixar Land. And you could do all of where, you could go land by land as opposed to Disney World. You could jump back and forth between different places based on what time you're, So that was kind of nice. You just walked up and scanned it and off you went. Although not all the rides are included, and some of the rides that had really long wait times were not included. So that was also
none of the Toy Story rides were included. So we actually ended up not doing any of the Toy Story rides because they had very long wait times,
45 minutes to 75 minutes all the time, and we were like, So anyway, so we went over to. We started with Web Slingers just because it was dry. We weren't getting rained on. Then we went to Avengers Assemble because it was a 5-minute wait. We were like, we might as well. Then we did Premier Access with Creepy Girl at Tower again. And then there were these obnoxious young British girls who were like screaming the whole ride. They were very crazy. And they were like, I was shivering in my boots. Remember that? Like afterwards, we were cracking up about that. Later on, Lindsay and I saw the same group of girls. We're like, oh, here they are again.
Because they bursted our eardrums.
Yes.
Like
and they were
bad.
And they also were up in our personal space the whole time. So we did then we did Crush's Coaster.
That was amazing.
That is so cool.
So they seat you in like almost how they seat you in Toy Story Mania, but like roller coasters. So you've got like 2 people and then 2 people in the back and you're facing different ways. And so it was like a roller coaster like Guardians, how you're spinning, but you're also the roller coaster at the same time. And that was insane. It was so much fun because we were spinning and we were on the roller coaster.
Highly recommend
It
it.
was crazy.
Super cool.
Yes.
Nice.
I mean, we have nothing like that.
Yeah, that was insane.
That's one that they could definitely bring to our park. It's awesome. I would go on that over and over and over again. It was totally awesome, dude. That's what I wrote in my notes.
Totally.
Then we did the carpets of Aladdin because
it was right next
we
door.
were like, we might as well. Then we went over to Disneyland and we saw the parade, the 11:30 parade.
I saw you going live for that as well.
Yeah. So their floats are
Insane.
totally
Their
different than
floats
ours.
are so huge, obnoxious, like unique. They're crazy.
They had a whole Toy Story float that was really cool. They had really
Lion King. They had Lion King.
Very cool Lion King float. Very different.
Yeah.
Not as many. It was a shorter parade, but it was really good.
It was very good.
I'm glad we watched it. Then we went for a break. I don't know. Yeah, somehow we went for a break. I don't know. Then we did Phantom Manor, and this is the coolest thing about Phantom Manor that we didn't know. There's a graveyard behind Phantom Manor. That was awesome.
Yeah,
like I didn't know that.
You just walk through it. That was super cool.
Yeah,
like that was. There were always really like the original owners of the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, like the husband and wife that owned that were buried there. Like it was
pretty
really cool. And it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised. So I would highly recommend checking that out. So if you get off of Phantom Manor, you kind of go back behind it and there's this entire whole graveyard that you can walk through.
We did end up doing before our break, because Phantom Manor was after the break, correct?
Yeah.
Before our break, we did end up doing Autopia, which I hate. Absolutely hate it. It's like probably my least favorite ever.
But it's better.
And then to even out my hatred for it, Landon's love for it, we did a ride that Landon hates, but I love, and we did It's a Small World, which was like pretty in the outside, how it is in Disneyland, and then the inside, it's like the repetitive song. But it was really cool to see like the North America section of the ride, because we don't have that in our Small World.
It was, and their animatronics were all working.
Yeah,
they were.
Newer. It was good.
It was nice. Good. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was in French, right?
No.
And other languages.
Yeah, the song was mostly French. Yeah, I think it was like half French, half English.
Oui, oui.
Yes. And then we took our break. We did Phantom Manor, and then after Phantom Manor, we
went to dinner.
Yes, we went to dinner at the
Agrabah.
Oh, we also rode Indiana Jones at some point.
Oh, at some point. Oh, and at some point in time, Tim lost his credit card too.
Yeah.
Is it? Did he lose it on Indiana Jones? Because I lost a camera.
We talked about you, Lonnie. We talked about it. Oh, and also sometime during this day, Tim and I got a glass of champagne in front of the castle. I don't remember when that happened, but anyway, Indiana Jones, the most painful ride I've ever been on in my life. It's like the old
I had watched so many like vlogs of Disneyland Paris, and every single one that I watched, the people getting off of Indiana Jones were like, don't ride this. Don't ride this ride. It's horrible.
It keeps chiropractors in business.
Yeah. And I was warning them. I was like, guys, like this ride hurts. Are we sure we want to do it? They're like, yeah, we have Premier Pass.
Like, we gotta do it.
I was like, okay.
It was we're good.
And I will say it was the only ride that we did in Adventureland because their entire Pirates was closed.
Their Adventureland was insane.
It was
really huge and so well themed.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
I'm bummed it was closed.
Pirates was closed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole Pirates section was closed. Yeah. All the pirate activities, they were all closed.
Yeah. That's what, yeah. But it was still cool. So anyway, so then we had dinner at Agrabah, which is a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
This was really weird. So you walk into the hostess stand and you pay right then. She asks you what you want to drink. And like, you're not even at your table. You're at the hostess stand. And you're like, okay, there's 4 of us. And then Tim and I were like, well, I guess maybe we want some wine. So we had to like pick it there, not at your table, at the hostess stand.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to your table and they're like, okay, go get your food because it's a buffet.
Yeah.
And then a while longer, we got our.
It was like 10 minutes after we sat down. It was like 10 minutes after we sat down, which is like a little unusual because they took the ticket right when we sat down for our drinks, and then it took like 10 more minutes, and we were like,
But then they had a menu on the table with drinks on it. So I was very confused. Like, well, what happens if you want like this drink of the day or whatever it was? But you
Go
had
back to the front and order it.
yeah, it was very. I mean, because there's no tipping with, so I guess that's why you pay ahead of time. I don't know. It was just a little bizarre. But anyway,
but the food was fantastic.
finally, we had good food.
It was amazing.
It was really, really good. It was because it was a buffet. There were tons of options. The chicken was fabulous. The different, not salads and like lettuce salad, but the different side salads, I guess you would call them, mixtures. Like there were chickpeas and there was like this carrot thing. I don't know. They were all really.
It was
good.
Amazing food.
Yeah, it was.
We all had like 3 to 4 plates. Like we had a lot.
It was
because
really
it was
kind of
really
our
good.
only meal of the day. I guess we had breakfast early. And
I mean, you guys ended on a high note. At least you saved the best meal for last.
Yeah,
they had these empanada things that they were not called empanadas. They were Moroccan empanadas. They were delicious. Oh, and that day I forgot. Landon tried Casey Corner, and he had to go in and order it though because they pre-make them and put mustard and ketchup on every single hot dog, whether you want it or not. And he didn't want that, so he had to like stand in line to tell them how he wanted it. So I had heard they were terrible. He claims that it wasn't bad at all.
Landon will also eat any hot dog.
I mean,
he loves hot dogs.
They did not have corn dogs though.
Yeah.
No corn dog nuggets.
That's a miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No corn dog nuggets.
But dinner was fantastic. The desserts were okay. We had this like chocolate circle that was delicious,
really
but the other ones were all right. But the dinner was fantastic.
So and then we decided we just ate this gigantic meal of like 20 different courses. What are we going to do?
Get on the roller coaster.
No. Walk as fast as possible back to the other park.
Oh. You guys really did a lot of park hopping. You guys were park hopping.
Sprinted back to the other park.
I really wanted to go see Mickey and the Magician show. And this was the last showing of it. And it was at 6:30. And it was like 6:05. And we're like, we can do it. We can do it. And we ran over to the other park because you can't use Premier Access for the shows, but then there was this Visa card thing, but no one really understood what the Visa card thing was. Like, it was very, very confusing. Like, even the information people, and that's another thing I'd say. There's not a lot of cast members.
There's like
anywhere.
Very lack of cast. Like at Disney World, I feel like you see cast members everywhere. And like, especially like even outside the park, like regulating stuff, like making sure things are like like there's so many, everywhere you look, there's at least a cast member. It was so hard to find any cast member out and about Disneyland Paris.
Landon really wanted to trade a pin, and that was a challenge because they don't really do that there. We found one person right by the Gibson Girls Ice Cream, right by across from Casey Corner. This poor girl had a cart. One cart was food, one cart was pins, and one cart was the bubbles. And she was in charge of all three, all by herself. And there were people everywhere. And like if somebody wanted a bubble, she had to like go out of this little thing, shut her little container, go over, get the bubbles out, open the bubble thing, come back to the station, ring them up, like all by herself. And I'm like, this is not efficient at all. I mean, it was there's not a lot of cast members anywhere. Like
they were working Clarice. I'm assuming her name was Clarice.
Yeah.
And we kept seeing like the same cast members like each day, which was definitely an indicator that there was like, because I saw like at least 5 that I was like, oh, I saw you guys the past 2 days we were here.
It was Philippe. I mean, he was working, Big Thunder Mountain, and then the next day you saw him, he probably was over there working Tower of Terror. I mean, he kind of just gravitates around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mickey the Magician Show. Sorry.
Fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. If you like Disney Cruise Line and you like Disney Cruise Line shows,
you
would love this show.
Yeah, it was just like a Disney Cruise Line show. It was
really, really good. So glad that we sprinted over for it because it was fantastic. Glad that we went.
Jodie does like to run to get to, attractions. I mean, she ran through Animal Kingdom to get to Flight Avatar. Yeah, I remember you running that. You left us there. I mean, you took off.
I do not run in Walt Disney World. Only
no, you would. That's. I mean, if you'd have took like maybe one extra step, it'd have been a full sprint.
Well,
you're like right there. You're like rolling.
People run there. Like they run in the parks. Yeah. That was interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then we went back to Disneyland Paris and we did Storybook Canal like they did in Disneyland. Teacups. We wanted to do Astro Orbiter, which it said your Premier Pass, but then we click in and it's like your Premier Pass doesn't work for Astro Orbiter.
Yeah, it was weird.
That was weird.
We were like,
whatever.
We
went back to Hyperspace Mountain because
did Hyperspace Mountain again.
Yep. And then
did Star Tours again.
Yep. And then
we got a different storyline, which was weird. We got like a different opening storyline. We had Andor and we had
I just remember Andor.
Stormtroopers at the like we had different opening, but then we had whatever the Ewoks. We had the Ewoks in the beginning too, which was interesting. Yeah. And then the second half of it was the same second half as the last storyline we had, which was so weird.
Yeah. I was curious. I'm like, I need the boys here to tell me if this is the right if this is mixing canons, if this is like crossing over, but I couldn't figure it out, especially since it was in French. Yeah. So, and then we ended our Disneyland Paris trip with the same way we started it.
Big Thunder.
With Thunder Mountain.
Amazing sunset. Absolutely beautiful, phenomenal. Sunset. Perfect way to end it. Chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm.
It was perfect.
It was perfect.
So
and then we bought these ears, and then we left.
Yeah, the ears. So, in comparison to Disney World, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the world, what would you give Disneyland Paris?
5 being Disney World.
Yeah, so because you love Disney World, right? So it's a 5. What would you give Disneyland Paris?
I think it was the prettiest park, especially the entrance and the castle. I think it's it's a beautiful park.
Yeah.
But as far as like dining and like rides and like really the space, everything felt very crammed too. Mm-hmm. It felt a lot like I kept saying, and I was like, it feels just like a lot like Disneyland in California, but just transferred over to Paris. And that's
okay. So what's your number?
My number is 3.8.
Okay. Jodie seems surprised at that. Jodie, what would you give it?
2.2.
Okay.
Tim would probably give it a 1.
Actually, I give it a 3.5.
Tim just mad because he lost his credit card.
Which someone turned it in, by the way.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so now a couple of things with Disneyland Paris. Of course, it wasn't owned by Disney, but now Disney has purchased it outright. And with that, they're investing, I think, over $2 billion.
Josh needs to run his hiney over there and check some things out.
They say they're going to do that. So hopefully more cast members. I know they have another land they're building. Mm-hmm. It's actually the Lion King land, something like that. I know it's
Lion King, and they're doing Frozen.
And they're doing Frozen. So hopefully that will bring the number up a little bit. Yeah. Now that Disney controls it, maybe they'll get some renovations because.
Actually, I put my ranking at a 3.
Every time we talk, it's going down. Okay, so let's talk about this though. This is the elephant in the room. This is the Dumbo in the room. The hotel.
0.0.
What was wrong with the hotel?
What's your score?
1.
It was close by, which is good, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
it was supposed to be like kind of like beach and yacht club. Like it had different aspects of that. It wasn't like the same at all. But I personally hate beach club and yacht club. I hate those resorts. I do not like them. So just like the theming, I was like,
the guy kept telling us we were supposed to be on a cruise ship. He's like, you're supposed to be on a boat and on a cruise ship. And I'm like, this is no Disney Cruise Line ship. This is
it was all right. If I could pick any resort to stay at if we ever went back, I would have picked the I don't remember what it's called.
Art of Marvel?
Sequoia.
Yes.
Oh, Sequoia. Yeah, the one that looks like the lounge, the big lodge.
But I was worried. I thought that was one that didn't have air conditioning. And that was one of my things because it was July. And again, a couple days before it was 103. So how was I supposed to know it was going to be 55?
Right.
I'm just going to come out. Our room was terrible.
Okay.
It was musty. It smelled awful. I think each of us took a 45-minute shower, not because we wanted to, but because there was no water pressure. You took that long to like rinse one little thing of shampoo out of your hair. There were 2 outlets in the entire room, 2. And so you have 4 humans and all your electronics.
Apple Watch, the phone, everything. Yeah.
The portable charger.
Thank goodness no magic bands, because that would have been more charging. Then there was this like crazy weird desk thing that took up a ton of space with fake drawers that didn't even open. And this thing was huge. It took up a ton of space in the room. There was no under the bed storage.
It was like carpet. A vanity.
It had the old nasty gross carpet. And here's one thing. Okay, this is a Tim Binning thing. We ran out of toilet paper. Okay. It's 7 a.m. in the morning and I call downstairs and I'm like, bonjour, je m'appelle Jodie, room 3. And I tell my room number and I'm like, we are out of toilet paper. And they're like, oh, you have to wait to 9:30 a.m. to request that.
7:30.
Or 7:30 a.m. It's 7 a.m. And I was like, yeah, we had to use the bathroom. And what made no sense is that's our second morning. So housekeeping had been there the day before, but didn't give us any toilet paper. And so they're like, no, you have to wait till 7:30. I'm like, that's a problem. Like, and then they ended up not bringing it to like 7:45. And then the next day we had, it was everything was just, the cast members were not, they misled me on information for the bus, which was quite problematic the next day. It wasn't a communication thing because I would walk up to every cast member and I'd say, bonjour, parlez-vous anglais? Just to make sure like that I was, that it wasn't a language. It was weird. It was not a good, there were people smoke everywhere, but like right outside of our door, our view was of nothing, but there was a dirty washcloth and cigarette butts like right outside of our windows, like just not good. Right.
So that hotel definitely doesn't get the duck stamp of approval.
I would stay in a tent at Fort Wilderness camping before I would stay there again.
Okay, that's strong.
I don't know about.
I would camp in a tent, not even an RV, in a tent on the floor before I would stay there again.
Okay.
It was bad. I did not.
Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, I think you've expressed the walk back.
Yeah,
the walk back was nice.
There
we go. Right?
Yes. I thought it was fine. I don't have too many complaints.
Yeah. Landon and Tim feel strongly that Landon's like, how much money did you spend on this? And I told him, and he was like, that's a ripoff. I'm like, yeah, thank you. I know. So Lonnie, you asked me a question earlier, like, would I have rather stayed at Art of Marvel? Yes. I would have but the price difference was well over $1,000 more. And I knew we were going to be hitting the parks hard and that I was thinking we're just there to sleep and shower. I didn't realize our shower was going to be so bad and our smell was going to be so awful. But anyway, it was interesting.
Yeah. So Jodie and I had this conversation, brief one, about staying there, right? The best thing about Art of Marvel is just went through refurbishment maybe 4 years ago. So it is nicer, but to your point, you guys really hit the parks hard. So was it worth $1,300? I mean, maybe an offsite one will be a little better. But then again, that puts in the whole transportation thing because you have to catch the buses a little bit more. So yeah, you have to pick and choose your battles in regards to staying there. Now, the good thing, which if you and let me ask you this: did you talk to well, you have to find a cast member, but if you did come across a cast member, did they say anything about the Run Disney races coming back?
I didn't ask. I couldn't even get toilet paper, Lonnie. Like I was.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair, right? So yeah, so because the Art of Marvel is like if they kept the same, it would be where the start line was. Or races. I mean, literally, people came out and they walked through the little thing, and they were like, "That's where the start lines were."
I would
so
think
that
it's
would be good.
going to be quite a few years because the whole Disney Village is under huge construction.
Yeah.
I mean, one morning we woke up and there wasn't a construction wall, and the next morning they put a construction wall up. Like there was construction everywhere. So I would say they're still 3 to 5 years away from being finished with things. And
oh man, that's a little disappointing.
So I think everything would have to be finished before they bring races back because it's
well, at least when they do all this construction and everything, maybe they'll get to that hotel to make it a little better, right? So
tear it down. That would be great.
Wow, so that was strong. So Lindsey, for graduation from college, because Lindsey has gone off to college, maybe that'll be about 4 years. It'll be done, and you can go back to Paris to have another show before and after. So before college, post college, all the stuff will be done, and you can tell us what you think.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. So put it on your graduation list for, a present going back to Paris.
We need someone to start funding the show so they can start funding this trip.
Well, I guarantee you that hotel's not going to fund this show after that review. Yeah. So there you go.
And you know what else is funny? You know how every time you leave Disneyland World, you get a survey? Like no survey.
You're not getting a survey. No. You're not getting a survey.
And I wasn't complaining. Like I wasn't in their face complaining about anything. I wasn't saying anything. But like there were just a lot. But yeah, they didn't bother to survey us. So
yeah, I think they did right not to. But it's funny. I haven't gone there. I can tell you, I went there in 2017, and it's the same problems that you guys have now that you just had. So that shows you it's not a lot of progress being made. Even though Disney bought it a year ago, it still was the same thing. You couldn't find a cast member, not clear. And I think if you go back and kind of even listen to the show about Tokyo, completely different.
Yeah.
Bunch of cast members, they were on it. I mean, any question you asked, they were like there. So I guess it kind of just shows you the difference in culture and, the parks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. But I'm glad we went. I'm glad that we finished our France trip with Disneyland.
Yeah, that's your third park, right? Check it off.
Yeah. It was. I'm very glad we went. Yeah. And some of the experiences were really cool, and some of the rides were really cool. But like Lindsey said, you can't leave a Walt Disney World trip without having some sort of cast member experience or interaction that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. And we didn't have any cast member interactions.
Yeah.
Well, Philippe dropped the ball.
Yeah.
He dropped the ball.
It was definitely, it was different's not bad. Different is different. And I'm glad we experienced it.
Yeah.
It's good to experience it. So good deal. So thanks so much. I was hoping you guys had a better time. Looked like the rides and stuff was really good. It's just some of the little small things that they can improve on. So it's not would I say, go back, maybe let's give it a year or two, maybe, and see with some of the new things. I think, it may improve greatly. Once you get Josh over there, maybe he'll whoop him into shape.
Yeah.
Josh needs to spend some time over there.
So it's our favorite part of the show, Quacking Up with the Ducks. So if you don't mind, ladies, I will go first because I just have a story of something that happened here. It's the funniest thing. My wife yelled from upstairs and she asked me, she's like, do you have a shooting pain across your body? Like someone got a voodoo doll and stabbing you with it? I said, no, not at all. And she says, how about now?
That's good. That's good.
So, Lindsey, can you quack us up?
I can attempt to.
Okay.
We learned about the 3 Louis while we were in France. So Louis the 14th, 15th, and 16th. And there was a little like saying to go along with each one. So it was Louis the 14th was the fun king.
Sun.
Oh, the Sun King.
Mhm.
Louis the 15th was the fun king.
Mhm.
And Louis the 16th was the done king. Because he got his head chopped off.
That actually is funny though.
Yeah. That's if you ever need some reminders of history of the three, because there's so many Louis and Henrys and all of that. You can remember those three.
Yeah, Louis, Henry's, they got the purses. It's just madness.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna give Jodie a pass because it's hard to follow Lindsey, right? So
It is.
so with that, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Like I said, if you love what you hear, and hey, look, Jodie, Lindsey, and the fam went way over there just to provide you guys with some awesome content. So you gotta give 5 stars for that, right? Like I said, go ahead, follow on the socials, and Kwa Harini, everybody.
Au revoir.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Les poissons, les poissons.
Oh.
That's how I taught her what the word fish be. I'm like, think about it. He says it right in the middle of the song. Les poissons, les poissons. Hee hee hee. Ha ha ha.
Yes, he does.
See, I should have worked on my
You should have worked on your ha ha ha.